And now Sam Manchester has a presentation about his capstone. Sam.
Good morning. My name is Sam Manchester. I'm here to speak with you about my capstone project, which will raise educational supplies for orphanage in Estonia. You may not realize this about me, but I grew up in Estonia, which is a country in Europe between Finland and Russia. When I was 6 years old, my parents were chronic substance and alcohol abusers. This led them to not being able to support me financially. When my parents started to consume alcohol and illegal substances, they became very abusive. My father would constantly abuse me. This problem with my parents consuming alcohol led me to taking care of myself for most of my life as I went on, because I did not want to be around my parents when they would drink. And I knew that if I came home, I would get abused, and I would have to watch my parents fight. That's why, after a short amount of time, I started to run away from home. When I turned 8 years old, I had been involved with the police a good number of times. By a number, I mean at least once or twice a day. I would get in trouble almost every day by just doing stupid things. The police would bring me back home, and I would just run away and cause trouble all over again. The police got disgusted with me getting in trouble all the time that they talked to my father, and realized that he was an alcoholic, and they figured out why I was getting in trouble was because I had nothing better to do, and I didn't have the right people telling me right from wrong. At 8 years old, I was put into an orphanage where I soon learned that I would be staying there for a while because my father wasn't planning on turning his life around. I was happy that I was put into an environment where I would not be abused and I would have support. I was put into an orphanage about a month after I turned 8, and I found out that my mother had passed away. At that point, the goals that I had set for myself, such as having a better life than my father and helping my mother, shattered. The orphanage that I stayed in had given me support, but they really couldn't give me much beyond a place to stay and food to eat. At this point, the director of this orphanage put me into the adoption list, and a year and a half later, I had an American family adopt me. At this point, I was excited for myself because I knew that life in the United States is an opportunity to make something of yourself. It was like the new chapter in the book, going from being abused and having parents that were substance abusers, having a difficult financial life, to me being in a new place. With a new family, starting my new life that was full of possibilities. If it wasn't for this orphanage, I probably wouldn't even be here in U.S. today. And who knows, I could be dead or in jail right now if I wasn't here. If I wasn't adopted, my life would still be going downhill. This is why I want to help this orphanage by giving back to them. I want to raise educational supplies that could help some of these kids begin their lives. Adoption could change every child's life that is in need, but by raising these supplies and donating them, I want to show these kids that they should not give up on their lives if they don't get adopted. So, my project is based around collecting and raising educational supplies through CSRC. These supplies that we raise are going to be donated to this orphanage. I will start educational supply drive as soon as next week and continue it until the beginning of May, and at that point I will be making this donation. We are looking for basic educational supplies such as notebooks, writing utensils, dictionaries, preferably Russian to English and English to Russian, or just English. Books such as books about nature, geography, art, cookbooks, English textbooks, and children's books, and also games like Scrabble and Monopoly. These items can be donated to Mrs. Cavito's classroom in Colby. Your donations will greatly help orphans in my home country of Estonia. Thank you for listening.